Well, it's Thursday night, and we're almost into your Friday and getting ready for the weekend. My name is Mr. G, everybody. Thank you for watching Elite Weather Forecasting, and we're going to be talking about that weekend weather forecast across America. And as well, we're going to discuss a little bit more about Tropical Storm BRET down across the Caribbean. So let's jump into that weather forecast right now, and we're going to talk about BRET first. And there is BRET as it comes across the western Antilles tomorrow morning. We're going to be seeing it crossing the Lesser Antilles, and that's going to be moving into the southern into the southern Caribbean Sea, and we're going to be seeing it track toward the west and encounter a lot of wind shear, which are not favorable for tropical systems. So we're going to see a lot of gradual weakening as this system travels to the west. It's going to remain over mostly open water after it crosses the Lesser Antilles as it moves into the southern Caribbean Sea. It's gonna mainly remain over open waters, and maybe some of the peripheral showers might brush some of the other islands, like as it passes Puerto Rico and Haiti and the Dominican Republic. In Jamaica, it's going to come fairly close to as well. So some of those outer bands might spread some rain showers across some of those regions as it passes by to the south, and it's going to make its way toward Belize and Nicaragua, and we're going to be seeing it moving that way and possibly eventually making a turn toward the north over the Bay of Campeche as well as the Yucatan Peninsula possibly, and it could move into the Gulf of Mexico or it continue on a west-northwesterly track and possibly hit central Mexico if it doesn't make a full turn to the north in the Gulf of Mexico. So it could have quite a few days of some type of life left in it as it moves its way across toward the mainland of Central America. Here's a look at what the strengthening factors might be, and it's not looking too good for BRET. So as it moves across the Antilles and into the southern Caribbean Sea, we're going to see unfavorable conditions as we're going to have a lot of wind shear, and tropical storms do not like wind chill. So we got a lot of upper level winds that's going to help to shear it apart and kind of make it a little bit hard to keep its organization as it moves to the west. So we're going to kind of count this as a dying tropical system or a severely weakened tropical system. It might be able to hang on to some low-level circulation, but in the upper levels, we're definitely going to see a lot of wind shear that's going to make it appear to be disheveled and disorganized. So here's a look at the winds for our tropical storm. We can see hurricane force wind gusts that could get those winds up to 100 miles an hour in this region here closest to the eye. So over the Lesser Antilles, we can see some of those winds approach 100 miles per hour as far as those wind gusts are concerned. Now let's talk about rainfall amounts as it tracks toward the west. Like I said, we can see some rain showers here near Dominican Republic and Haiti. We got the Lesser Antilles and Puerto Rico right there. Southern Puerto Rico, we might get a glancing blow where we can see some showers and thunderstorms, as well as Jamaica could see some showers and storms from Tropical Storm BRET as it passes to the south, and it's going to make a landfall as it hits Nicaragua and Honduras. So we're going to be seeing it hit the land in Central America before possibly moving over into the Bay of Campeche and over the Yucatan Peninsula and possibly back out into the southern Gulf of Mexico. Maybe we can see some strengthening, maybe, I don't know. It's got a little bit too far out, and with that wind shear coming from the northwest off of the Mexican mainland, I kind of doubt any further strengthening will reoccur in the Gulf of Mexico if it makes a complete turn toward the northwest. Now we have another tropical depression coming across the out here across the central Atlantic, and we're going to be seeing Tropical Depression 4 make its way toward the northwest, and that eventually is probably going to head up towards Bermuda as we get into the middle of next week, and we're going to be seeing this remain a tropical depression, and it's going to be maybe a weak tropical storm, and then going to weaken again back into a tropical depression as it makes its way closer to Bermuda. Bermuda is right about there, and it's going to track just to the west of Bermuda, and we're going to be seeing our weak tropical depression that is going to doesn't show any promise for further development into a tropical storm, or at least a strong tropical storm or a hurricane. So we're going to see our weak system continue and only affect shipping interests, cruise ships. So our current conditions could make a lot of problems from cruises. I'm glad I'm going to Alaska for my cruise, so I'm not going to have to worry about any tropical systems. And we don't see a lot of Pacific storms this time of the year anyway, so that's a good thing to go this time of the year to Alaska. And now across the Eastern Pacific, when we're looking at the June 26th through the June 28th, we got the possibility of something tropical developing down across the Eastern Pacific, just off the coast of southern Mexico. We can see a medium possibility of some tropical development there between the 26th and the 28th. So we will keep monitoring that guy there and let you know if anything develops off of that. Now here we are with the back at the U.S. mainland, as we're going to talk about what we're going to see over the weekend here for Saturday and Sunday. As we look at our overall pattern, we have a fast zonal pattern. We do have a shallow ridge over Texas, over the central United States, that's going to help to usher a lot of heat across the state of Texas, where we are seeing record heat indexes that have hit 118, 119 degrees respectively. So we're going to continue to see that heat down across the state of Texas. But we finally could get some beneficial rainfall across the Midwest. So Minnesota and Wisconsin, the Dakotas as well, we can see some showers and thunderstorms for your Saturday and Sunday, as we finally have a storm system that's going to be moving across the Midwest and over toward the Great Lakes. So some beneficial rainfall for some of you folks, and some more showers across parts of the Northeast and into New England as well. But we're going to see nice and dry weather here across the eastern Great Lakes there, so Michigan, Ohio, and down through maybe West Virginia, parts of Virginia and Tennessee, and down through the south towards Georgia and Alabama. We're going to see a warmer and drier conditions sandwiched between this system and that system. So this is going to be what you call a fleeting area of high pressure, because we have a transitory system, so that's going to move through rather quickly. And in the Pacific Northwest, we will see fairly benign weather conditions as well. Maybe a few showers across the Pacific Northwest. And we have very dry weather conditions and warmer across the desert Southwest, the Southern Rockies, and into the Southwest and the Southern California coastline, as we're going to see an onshore flow along the immediate coast. So that could lead to morning low clouds and fog and some local drizzle. June gloom is what we call it along the immediate west coast, as we're going to see that very thick marine layer that could be possibly 3,500 feet thick. So that's going to make it a bit of a struggle to burn off some of those low clouds and fog right along the immediate coast. So if you're in Santa Monica, Malibu, Santa Barbara, you can see that persistent cloud cover in the morning. It might get a little bit better down to the south, San Diego, Laguna Beach, or Laguna Niguel, or Dana Point, those areas down further to the south. That low clouds might burn off a little bit sooner there, where you have a little bit less, a weaker force of that onshore flow. So that marine layer will be a little bit weaker down further to the south. So if you want to get to the beach, maybe head on down to San Diego where you can have a little bit more sunshine in those areas for your beach goers. Now, let's talk about thunderstorms across the Midwest tonight for your Thursday. We can see some severe storms through parts of eastern Wyoming and eastern Colorado and far western of Nebraska, as well as Kansas, western Oklahoma, northern Texas, and eastern New Mexico, where we can see some severe thunderstorms where some very large hail is possible. We're talking about some baseball-sized hail, especially over eastern Colorado. And tornadoes is also a possibility. We have seen tornadoes already in this region over the last couple of days, and we can see some damaging winds up to 65 miles per hour. Now tomorrow, that severe threat will move through the high plains of Nebraska, South Dakota, eastern Wyoming, eastern Colorado, parts of Oklahoma, and North Texas. Once again, we're going to see those severe thunderstorms where some isolated and maybe some isolated large tornadoes, very large hail, to a 2 to 3 inch diameter, plus hail up to golf ball or maybe softball, baseball size hail, damaging winds up to 70 miles an hour, and don't forget heavy rainfall as well with some of those severe thunderstorms across the northern plains. And then on Saturday night, and again Saturday into Saturday night, across the Midwest, we could see severe thunderstorms over southern Minnesota and maybe even the Twin Cities is going to be on the edge of the possible potential for an isolated severe thunderstorm. And we're going to see them over like Iowa, Des Moines, and northern Missouri. We can see some of those severe thunderstorms as well. So again, possibly some much needed rainfall across the Midwest. But we can deal with it without the severe weather. But unfortunately, it's that time of the year, and that's what goes along with the program. So get ready for that potential for some severe weather across the Central Plains and into the Midwest there. And now, with that being said, that we're going to see the potential rain showers across the Midwest and into the Ohio Valley, the Great Lakes region. With that, we're going to see on the backside of our transitioning pattern between storms, on the backside, we're going to start to see cooler weather move in, and it's going to be noticeably cooler across the upper Midwest and the Great Lakes areas. So the Ohio Valley, the Missouri Valley, Tennessee Valley, and the Illinois Valley, the upper Midwest, so Wisconsin, Minnesota, Michigan, we're going to see it much cooler, much more comfortable. Going to be very nice on the backside of our exiting storm system that's going to be moving into the northeast with that severe weather and those thunderstorms. But it will be much improved weather conditions on the backside as we head into early next week. Here we are as we talk about. Let's talk about Texas. Texas, it has been hot as beep. You know, we want to say that word, but we know it's been hot down south. Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas can be a beast in June, July, and August. It's no joke. Texas, we've seen temperatures in the upper 90s to near 100, but the humidity, we've seen heat indexes up to 119 degrees. So that heat will continue next week across the great state of Texas and the state of Oklahoma and through parts of the central and southern plains mostly, and through the Ozarks. We're going to keep that heat pump in effect, heat, humidity, maybe some isolated thunderstorms in the heat of the afternoon as well, here and there, but heat is going to be the order of the day down across the south central United States. And here's a look at some of those figures that we've been when we deal with 100-degree days. This year we had about maybe 12 to 1,300-degree days across some parts of Texas, San Angelo, Del Rio. So mostly southern Texas near the Mexican border is where it's been the most hot The highest levels of heat has been down along the Rio Grande River. So we're seeing much more days where it's 100 plus. But look at last year, 2022, we had as much as 77 days where it was 100 degrees or more down near San Angelo, Texas. So that extreme southern Texas, you really get that heat factory going on, and it's been very hot. Here is our historical averages for 100-degree days across the state of Texas. And again, San Angelo leads the way with 24 and tied with Del Rio, respectively. They're fairly close together in all things considered. So there's a look at the excessive heat down across the state of Texas. Boy, I'm glad I'm not going to Texas for my anniversary for anything. Why do I want to move there so bad, I guess? But anyway, there we are with the look at the weather forecast. My name is Mr. G. I was going to be back again for your weekend forecast. We won't have a video tomorrow because Mr. G got a lot of homework to do. So we're going to be working on homework tomorrow, so we won't be able to do a video. So this video is just to get you started. And we'll hook you up maybe Saturday morning with another weather forecast for you guys, okay? Leave a like right here for your weather reports and my smiling and happy face. I will see you guys in the next video. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Bye-bye.